What's going on, Bison fans? Clayton Kaufman inside our film room with head volleyball coach Anna Howle, coming into her 15th season here on Bison Hill. Coach, obviously always an exciting time to get the girls back on campus. I mean, this is what you play for. And the season just 3 days away up in St. Paul, Minnesota. How excited are you with this returning class, a lot of freshmen? How excited are you for this coming 2022 campaign?
I'm very excited. I'm really looking forward to getting on the court and seeing what our girls can do. And as we put together our team, a big combination of freshmen and upperclassmen and how they're going to work together and get out there and compete. We start with some really tough competition, and I'm really excited to see how they react to that competition and learn how to compete and be a great team.
I texted you on Saturday afternoon after our scrimmages over at Central Oklahoma. How did we do? And you said, we're close. What do you mean by that?
I mean we're close as we're really finding that team dynamic, that team chemistry that we really need to dig deep and find and compete. We played some really tough competition, finished with West Texas A&M, and I feel like, that's a team that went to the Final Four, did really, really well last year, and we really competed with them, and we're still trying to put all the pieces where they need to be as far as our offense and our defense, and I think we're really, really close to finding the grit to go out there and try to win. Also, the right people in the right spots to go out there and try to win. So a lot of that is stuff that we've had to find with so many new freshmen that are really competitive and really, really good at volleyball, and so many upperclassmen with experience, and just kind of finding that great balance of grit, go for it, learning how to win, and then also, the best players on the floor as well.
Yeah. Coach, you mentioned returnees, Avery, Kaylin, can't not say Tania Brown, who's obviously a talented right side hitter. What do you make of the upperclassmen that are back, and how's their leadership? We've got a lot of freshmen kicking around here this year. What have you seen from your upperclassmen these last few weeks since they've been on campus?
I think the biggest part that I need to notice with our upperclassmen is that they've come in here and really held the freshmen accountable for the standard that we have in our program. The hard work, the grit, the defensive mindset, and then just the competing. And I think our upperclassmen have done a really, really great job at that. We have some quieter leaders, some lead by example, and then some real vocal leaders. And I think all of those girls have done a really, really great job. I also think that, on the floor, Tania is stepping up and doing everything that we ask her to do on the floor. As far as being in the passing pattern, hitting different sets, all of those different things with Tania have been really, really great to see her do that. And then we've got a lot of leadership from our defensive end with Kaylin and Macy. Both girls are returning, and Kaylin has a lot of experience on the floor, and she really gives that great balance of defensive mindset. And then Macy's just a really great athlete that can get out there and dig some balls, and she's really a great passer. So, that's been great. And then having Avery in the middle, just getting up, and her strengths are things that are pushing our other middles to do things really, really well. And then, Jill didn't play for us last year. She was a redshirt, but with her and Audrey's ability to run in front, and then just some of the blocking is really pushing Avery too. So, those upperclassmen are working hard to bring the freshmen to their level quickly, because there are some that they recognize can really compete, and they've done a great job. And I have to recognize Rylan Moore too. She's done some great things for leadership and encouraging her teammates and helping to develop these underclassmen freshmen that are really going to need to step up for us.
Let's talk a little bit about schematics and the personnel you have. You mentioned Macy and Kaylin. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we lost a really good libero in Diana Carranza-Torrillo, yes, who was a real good mesh. She just helped the team so much in so many different ways. But like you said, Kaylin has seen a lot of action. Macy's this is her second year on Bison Hill. How do you see those two kind of filling in for that void of missing Diana?
Yeah, I think it's just really great to see those two work together defensively. We were in our practice the other day, and finally I said, separate these two. Our hitters have got to figure out how to score. And they're defending everything. So let's put them on the other side and pressure them on the pass. So I've really been able to give Macy and Kaylin a lot of pressure to be able to step up against harder competition every single day. I think also they've really made our hitters learn how to score. They just really work together well with that. And we're getting experience with Kaylin and a fireball with Macy. And I think that's going to be an exciting thing to see how those two can work together, because Diana is a really irreplaceable type libero, but we're bringing in different personalities that are going to provide a lot for our team. So I'm really excited about what those two are able to do, and the expectation we have for our defense set up, a lot by Deanna in the past. They're not trying to skip a beat; they're trying to raise the bar, and I'm proud of them for that, and proud of Deanna in the past for setting that bar so high.
The other monkey in the room that we have to mention, Malia Leatherlin, probably the best player in OBU volleyball history, or somewhere in the top 5, somewhere in the top 3. She's gone, going to get married soon, and working in the nursing unit and all. How do we come close to maybe replacing her? That's a tough challenge.
Yeah. I mean, Malia is part of the group of girls that we've had on the left side that have been great. We had Kristen Presley for 4 years, and she was fantastic. Just one of the best outsides we've ever seen here at OBU. And then we have Malia, an All-American, another one of the best outsides that in the country. So coming in, we have really flip some things around, move some people around. We have a freshman that can really hit. She's really good. She does a really good job of finding ways to score. She's extremely athletic. So it's going to be getting her in there to find that balance of how do I score and still make good decisions, forcing her to grow up quickly. But I think she's athletically pretty gifted. So she'll be able to do a lot of those things, and carry part of that load. I think, we've also had Tania on the outside some, and having her be in that position, she has really come in and ball handled to a new level. I'm really excited to kind of see where that position goes now that we've made some switches.
What do you think is the strength of this team on the offensive end? Everyone talks about, the football team has depth of wide receivers or running backs.
Yeah.
What do you think the strength is on the offensive end for your squad?
Yeah, I think on the offensive end, I think our outsides are going to be really dynamic, but I also think we're going to pop in some right side action that people have not had to defend quite both sides of the offense like they're going to have to all the time against us. We've had great players in the past, but now we're popping into an offense that's different for us. And I think that's going to be really interesting for how people are able to stop that, because we got scorers everywhere we look. So we always talk about wanting to be a 3-headed, a 4-headed monster as far as attackers that can put the ball away. And we've got girls that can put the ball away.
A couple more thoughts for you. Where do you see this team right now? And we got a few more days of practice before you go up to Minnesota, but what's the biggest emphasis these next 72 hours before we hit the road?
Yeah, I think we really have to figure out how we're going to run an effective offense. We've really focused on the serve and pass game. We need to serve very effectively. Defensively, this team is very committed to digging balls, but we've got to put ourselves in position that we can dig balls and then run transitional volleyball at a high, fast pace where we're really trying to get as much in system as we can. I definitely think that just continuing to figure out who we are as a team and what we want to be, and then learning to win. It's going to be difficult to learn to win when you're playing such tough competition, but learning to win against the best teams are how you become the best team. And that's our focus. That's our goal. We're going to go and learn how to win. It doesn't mean that we're going to win every point. Doesn't mean that we're going to win every set. Might not mean that we win every match, but we're going there to learn to win. And I think, I told the girls on Saturday, I really feel like we're starting to come together, and we're only playing at a 2 out of 10 right now. So if we're playing at a 2 out of 10 right now, we are gonna get better. And if we can learn to grit through what we learned to grit through a little bit on Saturday, we're gonna get better, and we're gonna get better fast.
My final thought for you, when we were shooting the promo videos and the photos a few days ago over at the St. Gregory's, Kaylin, Avery, Audrey, Macy talked about the mental toughness needed for this year's squad, and I think the reason they said that, this is our last volleyball match, we won't relive that, but we were up in that 5th set against Tech, and it just didn't come like we wanted it.
Yeah.
What's the key for us to have the right mental attitude?
Yeah, I talked to the girls a lot in the spring about these different types of balls. We have a balloon, we have a rubber ball, and we have a bowling ball. And for me, it's really important that we're not a balloon, that we can't just quickly get popped if somebody hurts our feelings, we make an error. And I think that's they've really talked a lot about our balloon, our rubber ball, and our bowling ball. A rubber ball, we can kind of bounce around, but you push hard enough on a rubber ball and things don't go as well. And a bowling ball, it's really hard to break a bowling ball. And we want to, and that's as far as our attitude and our toughness and our grit and our want to. And I think that's really where we need to be, is we really need to be tough and just keep wanting to get out there, take risks, be smart, learn the game of volleyball and compete with our teammates. And that's really what we're looking for. And I think, as far as these girls can work, they can work to a new level. We've watched these girls defend and rely on each other and hold each other accountable and come back the next day and want to work harder. Now we've got to be able to do that when the pressure comes on. You want to win. It's tough. We've got to grit through that. We've got to be a bowling ball.
Coach, I want to thank you for your time. We're excited for the season, obviously. The team has won 69 of the last 79 matches the last 3 years, and I'm anticipating we're going to have another good year. But anyway, thanks for your time, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
That was Bison volleyball coach Anna Howle. Her team is heading to Minnesota this coming Thursday. They're playing St. Cloud State among numerous good teams, including the Concordia St. Paul program that might be the best Division II volleyball program of all time. That's Anna Howle. I'm Clayton Kaufman. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next time on the Bison Sports Network.